Hey! Today I'm doing a bit of a different video. Have you ever seen this Steam page? This is the Steam page of Berghotel Heist, my own game. I'm not alone. I work with two other friends. So we are 3 people working on this game, indie. We started in January and now it's December. So the whole year we worked on this game. And today I want to spill the tea a bit about how 1 year of development looked like for us and how we did things. And I hope you stick around. This is probably gonna be a bit longer. Alright, so here we have our Miro board. Not an advertisement, by the way. Yeah, even I really like this tool actually. I like how easy it is to make things and how visual it is. So this is a collaboration board, right? And it's infinite, so you can make it really, really big. Like you have all the space you will need. You can definitely fit there. I think the first thing we put was really this references section here in the middle. And we did really the classical brainstorming ideas. That's how it started. We settled on the genre right away. We immediately said that we want to do like a horror game, a bit like the Backrooms games. That was like at least my initial inspiration. It should have been a bit more liminal, spacey than it is now in the end. Yeah, we settled on this hotel thing, and then we had this idea of being burglars. I remember thinking, the crucifixes turn upside down, and then that's when the demon is active, and then you have to hide, and you have to wait till the coast is clear, and then you continue with your whatever you were doing. It's also not how it is in the final game now. But anyway, those were these initial ideas. Also prototyped already a bit like what the monster could look like here, like very early. The floor plan, I don't know if the floor plan is somewhere else. Yeah, whatever, it's here. The floor plan, sorry. The floor plan is something we settled on very early, and we also never really changed throughout the development because it would have been too tedious. I have to say a bit about the team. We don't have an artist in the team. We are 2 programmers and 1 sound designer, and us programmers have a bit of art skills. Like we're not like completely incapable, but changing the layout of the level would be, I think it would be absolute time killer for us. So we settled on that and we stick to it. In the past, projects of mine have really suffered from iterating too much on things that should have been decided in the pre-production stage already, and then kind of backpedaling on very core ideas. And in this case, it would have been the room layout or the whole level. If we would redo that, yeah, it's a bad sign. You know that then a lot of time has been wasted. People justify it and say, the time wasn't wasted. It was like, that's part of the process. But that's just all excuses, because some things are also not meant to be iterated. Some things you have to decide in pre-production, and they are not touchable anymore. These are actually the big events we did. We did participate in the Austrian Playroom at the GDC with our teaser. And then in June, we went to the Level Up in Salzburg. This was the first event where we had a playable prototype that we could give players to play, but with us being right behind them and helping them. Because this was so prototypey still that they would easily get stuck and not really know how the control works. We figured out that we had quite a lot of UX issues still. This one we skipped, and then we went to the game city in Vienna. If you live close to Vienna, you should check it out. Oh yeah, there was the public beta, by the way, was in between. I don't know, I don't have... now it's here, public beta, okay. Yeah, the public beta was in between. That was like in the beginning of September. And then the Game City was the last event where we showed things. And this went really well with the refactor of the interaction system of the game. A lot of the problems that the level up build had were really, I want to say, almost completely solved at the Game City. So this build kind of showed us, yeah, actually we got it with the UX now. It's kind of fine. We could still improve it a little bit, but it's not blocking anybody from experiencing the game, which is really important. And then was the demo launch on the 5th. One thing I forgot to say earlier is at this event, we met some really nice streamers also, which later joined our public beta and played the game on their Twitch streams. If you have something like this in your area, you should go there. So while I was editing the video, the bell rang and I got a surprise present. And this is actually from the Austrian indie community. It's like a club that organizes the indie areas in Austria. They helped us a lot to go to these events, actually. We spent most of our time here on this super colorful task list. So this is basically our Kanban approach to planning. We have the to-do, the in progress, and the done, always of the month that we're currently working on. And we are trying to do, like in the beginning of the month, a kickoff of the month to know what are the tasks we want to achieve this month. And at the end of the month, we basically go over this done section. So here's already for December the entry for done. And that's how we then close it all off. And of course, if something was not achieved, we have to discuss what will happen with open tasks, like do we carry them over or are they not relevant anymore, or yeah, like these kind of things. Just a bit of a ceremony that we're doing to keep us aligned, because otherwise it would be completely, the development would just go wherever. And I think it's important for motivation. Like if you make a plan and then you track the progress of the plan, it's very fulfilling. I think it's very motivating. Yeah, so I really like looking at this one. All these tasks, if you're a producer or a manager watching this, this kind of task planning obviously would get really crazy if we were more than 3 people. I think we are already kind of at the limit. Here, the disadvantage obviously is you never know how big a task is. You would maybe think, oh, in August we did more, like we worked more because there's more tasks, but that's not necessarily true, because in some of the tasks are just more effort than other tasks. So you cannot actually know how much has been worked. And this is also an interesting side note, that we are not tracking our time at all. I see it more as a motivator than a tracker here. But then again, with a bigger team, I would have probably do something with a timeline. We have some timeline, but those are just to see like milestones. So if you follow this initial plan, we wanted to go to this Steam Next Fest here already. No, wait. Sorry. No, this was the registration. The Steam Next Fest in June, but we did not do that. So in the end, we wanted to be faster. I'm gonna say that much, but obviously things got delayed and postponed. But we kept track of it, and it's also still good to see this initial plan. All right. Moving on. I found here some slides that I did for a presentation, actually. This is also great. So here is an overview slide of the tools that we're using. So I already showed you the Miro board. You can use other tools, other technologies, but this is what we are using. We're using Perforce, we're using Hetzner as the host for hosting, and TeamCity to deploy on Steam, because TeamCity is also free if you only have just one build agent. And we use Unreal Engine for development. This is the channels we have in the Discord if you're interested. And that's, I think, all you need. Really happy with this structure. What else did I talk about in this meetup? Yeah, we kick off every month. Yeah, I already told you all of this. And now for something completely different, we will open the game, and I can show you a bit of in Unreal editor stuff. Yes, it always takes this long. So, and here we have the level. Let's go outside a bit. Oh, it's so dark. I usually, wait a second. This is the hotel and our wonderful landscape. And if you go inside, have this souvenir shop, and I know this restaurant area, the kitchen. These are all the things, all the rooms you can see in the game. So as I said earlier, yeah, you would not want to change the layout of this whole level. And yeah, fun fact also, oh, this is the border. If you play the demo, you cannot walk past this point. This whole level thing. When we did the playtests and we got the feedback, people suggested very casually, yeah, you should just, add more levels, like make more different locations where the game could play, like, I don't know, a museum or a school or whatever else. But making the level is actually one of the hardest, like that it takes the most effort, at least for us. I mean, people with different skill set maybe will tell you something else, but for us, just creating this level, placing the assets, finding the assets, sometimes even modifying the assets, and just make everything like look decent. That's where so much effort goes. So you cannot just, like, that's not the easy part, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not that adding another level, like, oh, the game is done and now we just add another level, it's similar myth to it's easy to add multiplayer, because if you have already the game fully working in single player, now you only need to add one more player, like you would think that's now easy. But I'm telling you that the biggest time sink is the level creation and the whole making sure everything works in multiplayer. I am personally very happy about all my paintings, which I drew by myself, by the way. I got an iPad earlier this year and tried Procreate for the first time. And I was so in love with it that I said, okay, I'm gonna draw a lot of stuff for the game. A lot of paintings from me, completely non-AI generated stuff. So what's left to say? We are trying to market the game currently, and it's really hard. I did try TikTok the whole year, and I only reached 200 followers on TikTok. None of us is really talented with this marketing stuff. If this is a game that looks interesting to you, maybe give it a try. that would really help us a lot if you play it, if you like it, and then you actually wishlist it and even tell friends about, hey, there's a really cool game on Steam. We started doing some Reddit ads with a budget of 10 euros a day. So we will see how that goes. Let me know if you would like to learn some more, or if this was interesting, or if it was not interesting. We didn't want to make a Phasmophobia clone or Lethal Company clone or the next Backrooms game. That's why, in the end, even though we had this initial references, of course, we deliberately went into our own direction with it and did not just chase or copy or whatever. We wanted to do something unique with it again. And now I have to go over the footage I recorded and cut out all the yapping that I probably did way too much of.